So if anyone's ever sat through a huge presentation before, they always start with hello. So we have hello room. We have HelloLights.
Can we see?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So like I said, this is just a fun project we developed here. We're going to talk about how we built it. Anytime you want to ask questions. I like presenting more as a conversation as opposed to a wall of me yammering on. So anytime you want to ask a question, just ask a question, I'll help you out. So we're going to talk a little bit about Hello Room, which I just talked about, kind of how we built it, how we believe in building stuff here at Huge, which I call democracy, a little bit of research. So pretty much anybody who's done anything like this, you know, if you think we just built this out of the box and it worked immediately, it's not the case. It took a lot of darn work to fix the bugs. Jenny will talk about the application. I'll dive into how it works, so I can do some code level demos too, and all this source code will be available online for anybody who wants it to. Lessons learned, and kind of talk about what's next too. So Hello Room. So we just saw that over there, but pretty much this is the first iteration of everything we did. So a long time ago I said, hey, if Google Calendar has an API, why can't we just pull down Google Calendar, put that on a tablet, put it in front of the conference room? I worked somewhere previously where the woman who ran the office would print out the meeting schedules every morning and tape them up outside the conference rooms. And I said, well, that doesn't really seem like a great way to do it. And I'm like, we have data on a computer, we have little screens, why don't we just put the data on the screens? So I was on a pretty stressful project at the time. This was my fun project, so I built this. We just took a look at it, but you can see on the left there is an open room. So when a room is open, you have the steal me option. When you click steal me, you can choose for how long you steal the room for, and that actually books the room. We could go on and on about all kinds of conference room problems. Jenny wrote about it a lot for us too, but pretty much there's so many different weird problems, like this room says it's free, but it's actually booked. I look at a calendar, the room says it's booked, but it's actually free, and things like that. And the main point with this project is contextual information when you need it. You can look and see if anyone's in there, and you can look at the official schedule as well, instead of having to walk around your laptop and see what's going on. So you saw these mounted here as well. We're really lucky enough to move over this office. So yeah, pretty much we built it here in DC. It's used in 5 huge offices now. So I was really lucky where our Bogota team started to use it. I really believe in kind of making stuff fun to work on, so I made a lot of effort to make this a fun project for teams to work on, and people just randomly started helping out. So no one ever got resourced, no one officially knew about it, they just said, hey, I want to help out and work on it. So if you ever have your own personal projects, and I say it's worth making it fun to work on, people kind of overlook that, but just make it fun. Because if it's someone's free time, it has to be fun. There's a lot more details on how this works for the most part. This is an internal slide for the most part, but let me know if you have any more questions about it. Democracy. So we're talking a little bit about how we actually decided to build Hello Room and the features, and this next project we're talking about today was actually just a random idea from somebody who doesn't write the code.
Yeah. So Matt organized this great way to kind of have everybody participate in how we decide what we do for the office. So instead of us sitting down and just kind of, you know, the 3 of us figuring out, this would be cool, this would be cool, this would be cool, we wanted to ask the whole office, everybody's going to be using this technology, so how can we make it great for everyone in the office? So planning poker, right? For anybody who's built agile projects before, you've probably done some version of planning poker where you have points on a card and everybody decides how long it's going to take to build something. You kind of size the project to say, this is going to be worth it or not worth it in this sprint in terms of priority. So instead of using story points for this, we instead really focused on something that we called priority points. So we really wanted to know, like, what's the most valuable thing to the people in this office? You know, we didn't have to be quite as rigorous about the pointing system as you would be on a project that you're delivering for a client. This was just kind of for us to make a determination on what to build next. So Matt built out this really nice spreadsheet with some ideas that we've heard from people over time. And then we played a little game of planning poker as a whole office. So everybody had a little app where they could choose a number, and then Matt could pull up the final score, and we prioritized based on the highest score. So from that, we found that the 2 most desired features were still me until next meeting. So as you saw before, initially we just had steal for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and so forth. But sometimes you might want to steal until the next meeting is available, which might be a weird number of minutes. That's not a typical number of minutes. So that was a feature that was requested. And then steal me until time. So again, just so we can keep kind of on a normal looking calendar, you know, people usually schedule meetings on the quarter hour. So instead of stealing for 15 minutes, maybe I just need to steal it for the next 13 minutes until the next meeting starts. So those came out on top. So from this exercise, we realized there's a couple that could actually be built together. Lighting changes and finding open rooms from a distance can be solved all at once. So as you saw before, there were a couple of other requested features, like being able to quickly tell, oh crap, I need a meeting room right now because this person has a few minutes, I need to talk to them. Instead of going to your calendar and looking at every room's meeting and seeing what's available, you can quickly glance your office and say, oh, that's a blue room, we can go in there, right? And then not only that, but maybe have some changes in the color, like you were just saying, to help you know when a meeting is coming to a close. So that's kind of how we decided what we were going to build, and from there, Matt will tell you what we did next.
All right, so we figured out color changing lights will solve two problems at once for the most part. So what do we do? Color changing lights, all right, let's figure it out. So step one is bulbs. We try to figure out what's the best light bulb to use for this scenario. Everyone says, oh, you're doing smart lighting, well, you should get a Philips Hue. So I looked into Philips Hue. It's like $200 or so, I think, for a starter package for Philips Hue. You needed a wired bridge. So the bridge is a piece of technology that would plug into an actual network and then would wirelessly communicate to the lights. Due to how our network setup is here, that was actually really problematic. $200 is a little pricey to see if something works, in my opinion. And then this is just like a weird developer quirk, this last one. They had no publicly available API documents. So an API is essentially what lets you figure out how to talk to a piece of technology. And I had to like sign up and register just to read how this thing would work. And I'm like, that kind of is annoying. I don't want to give you my personal information just to like figure out if this will work for me, for the most part. So that kind of bugged me. And it's like, the main thing is don't always do what everybody else is doing. So see if that's like the right choice. So we looked at it and I was like, what else is out there? So yeah, this is my big gripe for the most part. If you want software engineers to choose your product, have great documentation and publicly available web pages. People think like someone who knows engineering work knows all engineering work. No, there's like 1,200 different things we might work with for the most part. Just because I know some Drupal doesn't mean I know some Sitecore or things like that. Just because I know, Python doesn't mean I know .NET. They're totally different things. So people like me have to look at a bunch of different stuff. Whichever product has the best documentation and can explain to me how to use their product quickly and clearly, I'm probably going to choose that. So if you ever design your own products, documentation just matters so much for software engineers or for product people or UX or designers. And it's very easy to shortchange documentation, but when people who build these things for a living look at your product, if your documentation is better, they'll usually choose it. Because they can envision how your product will achieve their goals instead of having to have 10 calls with you for the most part. So in comes the number 2 player in the market, the LIFX Color 1000. So these are pretty cool light bulbs. These are about $45 a piece, and they look like this. So they're just standard light bulbs. So this will screw into any light bulb socket you have in your house or any lamp socket. I have one plugged into a 50-year-old lamp that was my wife's mother's in our living room for the most part. And she gets a kick out of us using this old lamp. So this is it. This is the whole thing. There's no bridge or anything else. So why do we go with it? Some good stuff about these light bulbs. They're $45. So we were going to do a $45 experiment instead of a $200 experiment. All right. The bulbs join directly to Wi-Fi. So those light bulbs actually have a Wi-Fi chipset in them. So when you actually boot them up, they make their own Wi-Fi network. You join that with your phone. It says, okay, you're connected to a new light bulb. Enter your wireless credentials, and it'll actually join the light bulb to your Wi-Fi network for you. And then at that point, then you're all set. Pretty cool thing about these bulbs is you can do on and off, and you can also do effects. So you can do pulsing, which I'll show off. You can do strobe lights. You can do all kinds of different stuff. You can do like spooky Halloween modes. A lot of people use these for haunted houses online, which is a fun thing a lot of people do with these. It's pretty cool. They've got brighter colors than the Hue. You can see here, and I'll show some more colors off too. They look great, these lights. Like I lastly mentioned, the documentation was fantastic. The API, which is how I actually communicate with the lights through code, was really well documented. And there was like 5 different Node.js packages. Node.js is the programming language. And there was one official package and 4 other packages random people wrote. So I was like, okay, obviously someone's going to know how to make this thing work for the most part.
Just,
Go ahead.
yeah. It's natural to say, well, one was 200, one was 45. There must be something that the 200 one has that the 45 doesn't. Is that the case, or is it just a weird pricing situation where Philips hasn't woken up that it's easy? There's a much cheaper way to make these things and price them accordingly.
So the Hue bulbs are better in some ways depending on what you want to do. So the first thing with the Hue bulbs is that $200 number is a bridge and I believe 2 or 3 light bulbs. So you're essentially buying into more of a whole system. So you're getting 3 light bulbs. bulbs.
Okay.
So it's pretty much
That
like,
makes sense.
it's probably the same price if you're buying a lot of light bulbs, but the initial investment to see if it works was more. And there's also, the Hue stuff generally works better with a lot of smart home automation type stuff already. So if you're someone who's a big home automation nerd, a lot of the stuff with Philips Hue will work a little bit better with that for the most
Okay.
part, to my knowledge.
Great, thank you.
Cool, so we ordered a light bulb, they were on Amazon, that was easy. And then the first thing, the fun thing we always do is prototyping. So prototyping is, can this thing do what I think it can do? In about 2 hours, we had a Node.js script controlling the light bulb to change colors. We're like, okay, that was way easier than we thought. More research, so we have light bulbs. You can tell from our space here, I'm a very engineering, delivery focused, does it work right person. We have a lot of how does it look people here at Huge, which is what we're known for. So if you've seen our work, we do really, really gorgeous design. So it's fun as a software engineer to just say, people say, Matt, just make this work properly. We have, creative directors, designers, art directors, interaction designers who will make this look gorgeous. So we couldn't have any standard looking kind of lamps.
Did you set up, when you say you had the Node.js, did you set up a special central website or web page to deploy the Node.js to the bulbs?
I'll talk about that in a little bit, but pretty
Okay.
much, yeah, so pretty much the way it all works, the architecture is there's no code on the bulbs. The bulbs register with an API. The bulbs have an ID, and then my code has that same ID in it. So my code can run on any server in the world, anywhere. I'm going to show some code running on my laptop here, but the actual code for the light bulbs runs on Amazon Elastic Beanstalk, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
Okay.
So there's no code in the light bulbs. So the light bulbs register with their API, and they say, here's my ID, and then you can make calls to those IDs to change the color of them.
Okay, so you're going via the API,
Yep.
their API.
Yep,
or
so
their server.
yeah, so actually I think another interesting thing about Hue, I think with the Philips Hue, you don't need to go through third-party API. So I
Okay.
believe if you want to run everything locally, not even on the internet, I believe you can with the Hue. With these, you can't do that.
Okay.
So that's another advantage of the Hue if you want to go with it. So like I said, I originally wanted to replace the lights in the top of the conference rooms. I didn't realize this. A lot of new offices have hardwired LEDs in them. So LEDs last so long that these are just hardwired in sometimes, and they last for 20 years. So there's no light bulb to screw in or out. So I was like, oh damn, what are we gonna do?
They're soldered? You can't.
They're soldered in. They're essentially,
Really?
yeah, or they're, I think probably just wire nuts. This is probably what it is, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go turning off the various
No,
circuits in this
no.
building like it's my house and deal with it. So we're gonna need great looking lamps. This is Rich Bloom. He's our creative director. So he's probably one of the most aesthetically picky people. I think we picked the most aesthetically picky designer, and I didn't talk to them because I think we picked any other designer, they would have bubbled up to him anyway.
Yeah.
So we said, we have these lights, what do we want to do? We don't really know what to do, we need lamps. So he found these are Vita Carmina lamps, which are from Copenhagen. And they're about like the prettiest looking lamp I've ever seen. I always joke that they're the epitome of design versus engineering because they look gorgeous. You have to construct all of these plastic fins around the light. So it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to put a light together. And then once you put the light together, there's no way to get the bulb out. So it's like the designers designed the most gorgeous thing, but it's the most difficult thing to actually work with. So yeah, but then once they're put together, they look gorgeous for the most part.
So once the bulb gets burns out, you can
Yeah, we just have to undo these fins. We have to carefully wind these things out. It's pretty crazy.
It isn't a lead people.
Yeah, it should last like 100
It should, I think 20 years is the standard. Yeah.
Once you get the hang of it, though, it does come together pretty quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
After like 3 or 4.
So we definitely had a little workshop where we just did
Yeah.
this on Friday.
Yeah.
Cool. So we had code that controlled the light bulbs. We have the light bulbs, and we have these lamps. So essentially, at this point, we're like, okay, we can actually do this.
Yeah.
So
How much was the lamp?
The lamps were pricier, yeah.
The lamps are pricier than the
I
bulbs.
was gonna say that.
The lamps are. This is plastic and a piece of metal, and it's like
They're
double the
100
price.
something, but
So-
again, they're like, to Rich's concern is always kind of being on brand and making sure that it's an impressive space when people come in to look at it. So we weren't really gonna skimp on that part of things,
Yeah. So it was worth it. So we had everything we needed, and then we're like, okay, let's actually build this.
Yeah.
So Jenny's gonna run through what the application actually does.
Yep. So I'll just show you just a couple of quick pictures of things you've already seen around the office, but we found pretty quickly that they work really well. They help light up the space a little bit more. then we started thinking, okay, how can we make them even more useful? And one of the things that people had requested is this idea of changing lights to indicate what's happening in the room. So again, when a room is empty, it's blue. We decided on a nice like neutral color that you could see from far away, but that wasn't, initially we actually had this like lime green color, and then the whole space looked like a radioactive lab. So we decided to switch to a more neutral, pleasing color like blue that would, you can still see from far away, but it doesn't jar anybody. And then when somebody walks into the room and starts having a meeting, the lights turn white.
Videos.
Oh, these
If you
are?
go back one, yeah. So go back one, and then I think if you click anywhere in the middle, it'll play.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so here's a little animated version of what happens.
So they sign in and that's what changes.
Well,
the
so
light.
they actually stole the room,
Oh.
as Matt talked about before. So they saw, oh, okay, this room is empty. We see that it's blue, and it says it's open. So we're going to go ahead and steal this room because we need to meet really quickly, right? They stole it for the next 15 minutes, and the light automatically turns white so they can begin their meeting.
Is there there's not a motion sensor in the lamp, that's linked to the steel.
It's all done through the Google Calendar, so as soon as that meeting is on the books, then the light turns white. Make sense?
Makes sense?
So, you have a nice neutral color. Another thing we started
So that's what
talking.
videos do.
We want to watch the movie.
Not nothing wrong. Okay, so the other thing we talked about, everybody has this experience probably at one point or another. You're sitting in a meeting and everybody's kind of looking at their computer. What's the time? When's the next meeting going to start? Right? So how can we help people not do that? How can we keep them in the moment and help them just very passively know when that meeting is about to end? So we implemented this feature called kind of like warning, right? So 5 minutes before the meeting is over, the light starts flashing blue. It gives you one nice pulse so that you know, okay, we better wrap up this meeting. And then when the meeting is over, the light turns red for just a couple of seconds so that you know, oh, okay, the next people are going to come in and I probably need to get to my next meeting as well. And that way, when you're in the meeting, you can close your laptop, you don't have to look at your iWatch, you don't have to look at anything. The room itself will tell you when the meeting is going to end.
I thought you were going to say that it started flashing if there was silence for too long.
That'd be better. It'd be way
Everybody
better.
actually start talking.
You know what? Keep that in mind for the end of this. Yeah, because that might work.
What are they doing in there?
This one's video.
So here's a little animation of a light transition. And again, we had our creative director pick the actual, hex code colors for each of these so that they were nice and pretty. So you see it's a gentle pulse, so it's not super intrusive in your meeting, it's not very jarring, but it is something that you slightly notice and say, okay, we better get going. And another nice feature that we implemented is the ability to actually set the meeting room color if you add the hex code in the meeting room invite. So when you put a meeting on the calendar, so you can put a hex code in there, and the room will automatically know to set the light to that color when you're meeting. So if you're meeting with a big client that you want to impress, you can put their brand color in the meeting, so when they walk into the room, they see that it's about them. Any questions?
Would that be via the Google Calendar interface as well? Like when you schedule the meeting, you have a feature that you can set.
Anywhere in the description, you just put that code in there, and then the script set written will pick that out.
Really?
Yep. So you can just put that hex code anywhere you want to in the description. It'll actually change the lights that color.
Wow.
So it seems like the easiest interface to let people change it, because we can't build a custom panel in each room. We talked about maybe actually building a panel in Hello Room to do it as well,
Yeah.
but that seems a little too much overkill.
So your code is set up to scan through the description text?
Yep.
And to know that this is a light color tag?
Yep. I'll talk. There's a regular expression that actually just picks those out. I'll talk more about that in a bit.
So Matt will tell you how it works.
How does it work? Fun stuff. So I'll do a light pass and then a really, I guess, more nerdy pass. How it works. So we have a lamp and a bulb in each room. That part's obvious. The bulbs are on Wi-Fi, so the bulbs are joined to a Wi-Fi network. When the bulbs are joined to a Wi-Fi network, they join to the LIFX Cloud API. So the API gives you an endpoint for each light bulb and an ID. So now we have a way to actually communicate with each light bulb that's around here. Each bulb got an ID for the most part. Like I said, each room here has its own Google Calendar, and each Google Calendar has an ID. So in our code, we relate the light bulb to the Google Calendar ID. So we have a conference room named Chuck that has an ID in Google Calendar. We have a light bulb that's in the Chuck conference room. We compare those two are actually connected in the code base. I can actually run through what that code looks like too in a bit. So once a minute, a server actually reaches out to Google Calendar and says, okay, give me all of the calendar schedules for each conference room. And it iterates through each of the events in the conference room to find the current time. And then it looks at what meeting is currently going on. And then it says, okay, if there is a meeting going on, set the light bulb to white. If there isn't a meeting going on, set the light bulb to white. It looks for the 5 minute, if there's 5 minutes left in a meeting, then it will do the pulse once. If there's 1 minute left, it'll do the pulse once. And then it'll also look for that custom color to see if we need to set the room a custom color. So pretty much the same way when you're at your computer and you say, let me look at all the conference room schedules to see what's going on, the code we have on a server does the same thing once every minute. So the light bulbs are actually, they can lag up to 1 minute behind usually. I'll talk about how we kind of have a workaround for that. It's called a polling architecture.